Yes, mawulire ge tulinawo ampuliriza agava mu bitundu by'e Kasese birungi si birungi. Abantu b'e Kasese abandibanga bazzemu okuba nti nno balumbibwa. Ampuliriza ebitundu by'e Kasese eno si gwe mulundi ogusoose bwe batyo nga bagenda mu maaso n'okuba nti nno ate babatuusaako obulumbaganyi obw'enjawulo wabula nga ne mabegakaawo bw'atyo Jeno Erweru yakulemberamu akabinja ke ne bagenda mu maaso n'okuba nti nno balumba ebitundu by'e Kasese ne bagenda mu maaso n'okuba nti nno ate batirimbula abantu. Ampuliriza ne gye buli kati Jeno Erweru wamu n'akabinja ke bakyagenda nga beeyogerako nga bagamba nti bano baali basaanidde okuba nti nno battibwa, bano baali bagwanidde okuba nti nno battibwa. Ampuliriza ebitundu by'e Kasese eno ekituufu kiri nti bye bitundu ebikyasinze okuba nti nno bibaamu obuyeekera nga n'emabegakaawo omwalabira ddala gavumenti ya kuno yasitula ennyonyi ennwanyi ne zigenda mu maaso n'okuba nti nno zookya abatuuze, zookya olubiri lw'omumbeere. Kaakati nno enkya y'olunaku olwaleero ekiro ekikesezza enkya y'olunaku olwaleero ampuliriza abatuuze baguddemu encukwe bwe bagenze maaso n'okuba nti nno ate bawulira ebyasi nga bigenda maaso n'okuba nti nno bivuga mu bitundu byabwe nga ne balakisi eziri mu bitundu byabwe zigenze maaso n'okuba nti nno ate zikumiddwako omuliro. Ampuliriza kansooke nkuwe akatambi kano ate nate nzije atweyongereyo.
Good morning, everyone. Today is 2nd November. I'm talking here from Bundibujo. We have just wake up. The barracks is on fire, and the bullets are just rampant everywhere. We're just hearing bullets. People pray for us. We people of Butama. We exactly don't know what's the problem. We cannot say they're on training because the bullets are too high. The fire has just, for real, we don't know. This is the first barracks. No, there is the first barracks there. There's the barracks, the first barracks on that center. You move upwards. There's that second barracks, and there is another barracks in this white nose, and they're telling us even the third barracks is on fire. So far I've seen the first, since for us we are like we are on a hill, like a gentle slope, so we really don't know what is taking place. We need your prayers. We don't know what. We don't know whether it's politics. We don't know whether it's hatred. And this here you're seeing, this that third hill is Congo, and it's Congo. It's Renzori Mountain. This one, that one up, you see up there, it's Renzori Mountain. And the other side, like gentle slope, that is Congo. And that big center, big town you see, that is Congo. Zeapande, the town they call Zeapande.
There was no child in that camp. There was no child there. Mumbere got to know that we are going to attack him on Friday. Mumbere sent his wife on Saturday the 26th in the morning. That's when he sent his wife with his children, and they all left, with including all his property. In Mumbere's house there was nothing. He was only remaining with one trouser and one shirt. So they already had the territory. They had their flags raised everywhere. They had an army. They had an anthem. They had a currency. They had a map for their country.
Yes. Furnish us with the evidence that you have. That is what the law says. Can you furnish us with the evidence that you have so that we can prepare our defense? No evidence came forth until 7 years. By the end of the 7 years, other royal guards had started dying in jail. Actually, 11 of them died there. Remember, these people were tortured. These people were beaten. These people survived bullets. These people were picked from the smoke. They needed proper medical attention, which they did not receive. So 11 of them died while in jail, and we buried them. So they died unheard. What would you say if justice has been delayed? It was denied. They were never heard. The king was put under house arrest. Even the few people who were given bail were denied access to their relatives. They would not be allowed to go to kaseese. The king, for example, was put under house arrest for all those 6 years. And then eventually they say, we are setting you free, but you have to sign some papers.
Amnesty.
You sign for amnesty. What does that mean? You know, government doesn't want people to say, when you tell the king to sign for amnesty, you have told him to plead guilty. But what do you expect of someone who has stayed under house incarceration for 7 years? He's not allowed to visit, even to the extent of denying him to bury his own mother. His mother died. He asked government, would you allow me to go to kaseese and Vundibujo to bury my mother? Because among the areas he was denied not to attend kaseese was one of them. He was only allowed to move within the districts of Kasese, Kampala, actually only around Kampala, Buganda, maybe Jinja, because he used to go to Jinja for court. But he was even denied to go and bury his mother. For all those years, he was receiving guests who were only authorized by government. At some point, he would receive guests that he has not invited. But they say, we are here to see you. We are telling you to soften your heart and talk to the president. Many of the royal guards who were in jail, the king was just asked to speak to them via Zoom, to tell them, guys, just sign the papers. One of them said, me, I'm an educated man.
Is that Prime Minister Tembo?
Yes, Tembo Kitumbere said, I can't just sign amnesty papers when I know what it means by amnesty. I did not kill anybody. I did not rob. I did not plan any treason against the government. And he said, by the way, surprisingly, before he became a premier in the kingdom, he subscribed to the NRM party. So he said, how would I have betrayed the party that I believe in? He said, I did not commit treason, and so I can't sign those papers. He did not sign. And he says, I just want government to provide evidence against me. Up to now, government has never gotten any sufficient evidence against Tembo. We are not calling them to cook up the evidence because we know it is not there. You can't say my king is a robber. Those were one of the charges against him, that he robbed. The killing they refer to in that court is a killing where 200 people, over 200 people, held one gun because government says they have a gun, which killed a police officer in Chidodo. How can 200 people hold one gun to go and kill one police officer? Because that is the robbery that is highlighted in the case. Over 200 people held a gun to go and kill a police officer in Chidodo. The robbery they are talking about, that there is a mattress which was stolen from a health center by the royal guards commanded by the king. A mattress. They accuse them of robbing some file at Chabarungera sub-county. A file in the sub-county headquarters. Whatever was in that file, nobody knows. So you are looking at a cultural leader and you even demean him to that level of referring to him as a robber. And a petty robber, by the way, because by the time you go to rob a file, you go to rob a mattress, you are just a petty robber, a king. No. That was really going beyond the expectation of a government, or what's being called a government.
Yeah, I hear you, ma'am. In the report that was presented to the ICC and the copy that you received, the ICC concluded that there were crimes of murder that were committed.
Yes.
And they mentioned that there was indiscriminate and disproportionate force that was used against the people in the palace. And the people who were around there had gunshots,
Yes.
and some huts were set ablaze on
Yes.
that day.
Yes.
And you also had an opportunity of getting to Kaseese because you were already in
Yes.
transit on that day. What do you recollect?
What I can say is that, well, indeed there were people killed. Our government is accused of murdering its own people. So people like Peter Elweru, who got promotion after promotion after killing people, really, if this government was not violating rights with impunity, Elweru would be in jail now. Because he's the one who commanded the killing of those people. And if the ICC is saying, yes, disproportionate force was used, even to us, the people, we said that was too much force, even if they were aware that these people were committing treason against government. How many rebels is Museveni sitting with on table even right now? Isn't he with the Moses Alis who were rebels? Isn't he with the Echwerus who were Arrow boys? Would the Rwenzururu rebels be the only ones that he would sit with to negotiate and see how they talk peace? Had he really exhausted all peaceful ways of resolving conflicts before the attack? I don't remember as a leader from Rwenzururu Kingdom and as a member of parliament to that, having been called in a meeting, maybe mediated by the government of Uganda, between the cultural institution and the government. I don't remember. So when Elweru says that we, the leaders, knew and we should be held liable, he should point at a meeting where we sat as leaders talking about those issues.
He actually says that you, at the time, you're the leader of opposition.
Yes, I was.
And other MPs should be held personally accountable for what happened in Kaseese. And this is why he says so. He says that you saw all this build-up and you did nothing about it. And therefore, you should be held accountable. And he demanded for your resignation at that time.
I think there is nobody who could have taken him serious after he himself could not resign for killing innocent civilians. He didn't resign. 2, we did nothing. We didn't kill anyone. How could we have resigned? In fact, the first meeting that we had been called for was that one of a Sunday. And he should have said, we invited these leaders and they never came. But they never even waited for us to be in that meeting and to see who was right and who was wrong. Because in that meeting, possibly we would have then been told whether our king had issues. For us as leaders, we went to the king and spoke to him. After we saw what happened at the coronation ceremony, we said, what is the problem? Well, everybody was in agreement that President Museveni was still annoyed with the cultural institution because of the grades he got in Kaseese. And that was clear. Because every leader who lost was attributing it to the cultural leader not supporting the president. And yet for us, we didn't see the cultural leader coming out to support. The only reason is that he remained silent and he did not speak for either President Museveni or for the opposition. So for them, they expected him to stand up and speak for the NRM.